In today's video, we continue on with part 2 of our Immich setup. Today I'll be covering exporting your data from Google and importing it into Immich. Let's get going on part 2 of Immich. But before we get started, make sure that you have watched part 1 of this Immich series, as I won't be covering the installation in this video. Alright, let's go get our photos out of Google first. To do that, we're going to go over to Google Takeout and we're going to get our photos from there. So open up a new tab and browse to takeout.google.com. As you may notice, I've already exported my data here, but let's go through the process so you know how to get yours. Down here under step 1, it says we've got 66 of 68 items selected. We want to deselect all of them because all we want are our photos. So hit deselect all, scroll about halfway down, and we're looking for Google Photo. Right there, Google Photos. Put a check mark next to that. Then we'll go over and select multiple formats. You'll see the photos here, the original format, PNGs, JPEGs, that kind of stuff. Everything here should be fine. Videos, yep. All right, go ahead and hit OK. Next item over, we have all photo albums included. Go ahead and select that. We'll make sure we got everything selected and hit OK. Now you'll scroll all the way to the bottom. We're going to click on Next Step, and this will be Step 2. Step 2 is asking you basically how do you want your files given to you. We've got Send Download Link to Email. If you drop down from there, we've got more options. You've got Add to Drive, Add to Dropbox, Add to OneDrive, or Add to Box. I don't know how full your drives are, but I'm going to assume that they're full, so let's just do Send Download Link via email. Frequency, how many times do you want it to export? We just need this one single export, so we'll leave it there on export once. File type and size, I'm going to leave it as a zip file. There are other options here if you're on a Linux system. File size, this one is kind of the big one. If you've got a lot of photos, then I would probably go down here and make this the biggest thing possible, 50 gigs in this case, assuming that your internet connection and your computer can handle a file that size. If you've only got a few pictures, a couple hundred or something, then I'm sure the 2 gig option would be fine. The difference here is that the bigger that you make it here, the less times you're going to have to click download, basically. It's not a big deal. If you've only got 2 pictures and you do the 50 gig size, it's not going to be a 50 gig file. It's just that's the maximum size of that download. So I'm going to leave it on 50 gigs and create export. Now we'll give it a few minutes. We'll go check the email and wait for the link to show up. So let's go jump over to our email account. You'll see we have a message here saying that the archive of Google data has been requested. It's not here yet, but it's just saying that it's been requested. So we'll give it a few more minutes. I'm going to pause here and I'll be back when it shows up. And there we go, it just showed up. And that took 2-3 minutes. It wasn't very long. Then again, I don't have a whole lot of photos in here. So once your email shows up, open up the message. Then we're going to click download your files. I want you to verify it's you. Go ahead and sign in. You'll see here that the total requested size is 141.3 megabytes compared to the 50 gig file that I told it to be. Obviously, I don't have that many. Once you find your link, go ahead and hit download. All right, we're going to leave that alone for now. We're going to leave it as its zipped file. Let's go create a new folder on our desktop. All right, I created a folder on my desktop called Immich-Go. You can name it whatever you'd like. Just remember it because we're going to have to use that here in a few minutes. So now let's open up our downloads. Move this over a little bit here. Get the other one up. So at this point, we're going to copy the downloaded takeout file from Google into your Immich-Go folder or whatever folder you created. I'm just going to copy it here for now. You could move it. It doesn't really matter either way. If you got a lot of photos, then I'd probably just move it. We don't want to decompress it or to unzip it into this location. We just want to copy the file over. All right, now we need to go get Immich-Go. So go back to your browser and we're going to open up another window. We're going to go download the Immich-Go application. And just so you know, I'm going to put all the links to all these locations in the description. So if you need any of them, they'll all be listed in there. But where I went here is github.com/simulat/immich-go. Over on the right-hand side, about halfway down, you'll find releases. Go ahead and click onto releases. We're going to look through this list here and find the Immich-Go Windows x86 64.zip, assuming that you're running this on Windows. If you're not, then go ahead and select whichever version suits your needs. So once you find it, go ahead and click on it. It's going to download it. Once it's downloaded, we're going to need to go open it up and copy and extract the files into the folder that we had just created, the Immich-Go folder on our desktop. So I'm going to open up the folder, find it here. This one is zipped. Let's go ahead and open that up. I'm going to get my other window open here. Immich-Go folder, there we go. Then I'm just going to select both of these files, copy them in here. Once they're in there, you can go ahead and close out the zipped file that we had for Immich-Go. You can close out the GitHub site, Google Photos you can close out, email you can close, Google Takeout you can close that. All right, at this point we're almost ready to import, but first you're going to need an API key from Immich and a command to run everything. And I've left the command down in the description so you can just copy and paste it in. Note, you will need to replace the server-IP and then the port number with your Immich server's IP and port, and we'll get to that in a moment. And you're also going to need to replace the API key goes here with your actual API key without the quotes, no quotes. At this point, I'm going to open up Notepad++ just so I've got a handy text editor that I can manipulate this command with. You can use whatever text editor you want. All right, so this is the command that we're going to be using here. Now, like I said, we're going to need to modify this to match your server. And note here, this / here, I was running this in PowerShell and it requires this in order for it to execute the command. If you're not, then you can just drop that off. You don't need that. All right, so the way this command works here is it's going to call Immich-Go. This is the name of the program. It's telling it what it's going to do here. We want it to upload. This is the command that we're going to throw at it from Google Photos. You've got different options here. You can do from the iCloud. You can do from a folder on your machine. There's a series of them. Let me see if I can grab that real quick and show you. It looks like I don't have them right handy here, but I will put it in the description so that you can see what they are. But there is, like I said, there's Google Photos, there is the iCloud and Picasa, and I think just regular folder structure as well. Next over here is saying we want it to go to this server, whatever you're going to put in here, server equal, and then the IP address or domain URL of your server. So the server _IP, we're going to change that to your server's IP address. For me, it is 10.0.0.11. The port number for me is 8096. What is it? 8086. Let me see. It's 8086. Whatever yours is, you'll put that in there. So after the server, like I said, you're going to have http:// your server's IP address, which I just found an error, and then the port number. So 10.0.0.11:8086 is mine. After that, we're going to have another command to throw at it, the API key, and that equals what? Right here, like I said, you don't want the quotes, but this is where your API key is going to go. So let's jump over to the Immich and get the API key out of there. I've already got Immich open. If you don't have it open, you can jump over to your Unraid server, go to the Docker tab, and open the web UI from here. If you haven't already signed into Immich, then go ahead and sign in. Once you're here, go over to your avatar icon in the top right, click onto it, drop down, and select Account Settings. Fourth option down here, we've got API keys. Go ahead and open that. On the right side, we're going to click New API Key. You want to give it a name. I'm going to call this Immich-Go. Once you're happy with the name, go ahead and hit create. It doesn't matter what the name is. It could be pretty much anything. Now note, this is only going to be shown one time. So if you're going to need this for anything else in the future, make sure you copy this. I'm just going to copy it now, and then I'm going to dump it into my notepad. When I'm done with this video, I'm going to be deleting this out. I'm not going to use it again. And if I did need another one, I could just come back in here and create it again. That's not a big deal. So once you've got it copied, go ahead and hit done. Go back to your text editor. And right here where it says API key goes here, that's where I'm going to paste it in. And notice, like I said, no quotes. API key equal, then your API key, no spaces, no nothing. After that, we've got the name of the file that we're going to import. In this case, the Google Takeout stuff is named Takeout dash, then a series of numbers, which is basically a timestamp. And if you got a lot of photos, it's going to be multiple files. So putting it in this format, Takeout dash star, it's a wildcard, so it's going to mean anything after the dash, it's going to take .zip. Expand this over a little bit. Then we've got another argument here, dry run. What that's going to do is just show you the output. It's not actually going to import anything. It's just going to show you what it would do if it ran. I always like to start with that, make sure everything's good and it's working the way I want it before I actually have it import everything. All right, so we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to copy this whole command all the way back to the /. Oh, one thing to note here too is, like I said, upload from Google Photos. This is just for Google Photos. If you're doing iCloud, then this command would be different here. I think it's from -iCloud. I'll leave that in the description so you can go check it out there. All right, copy that command. Now let's go back to the Immich-Go folder that we had created on our desktop. This should have your Google Takeout files in it, and then the Immich-Go.exe along with the license file. In here, I'm going to right click and do Open in Terminal. If you don't have that option, then you can just browse to it from command prompt as well. All right, once we're here, I'm going to paste in the command. I did that by right clicking, drops it right in. Like I said, I'm using Windows PowerShell. Once the command is in there, press enter, and it looks like it worked. You can quit the program safely. It found 3,741 images, no videos, some duplicates, stuff I already had in there. It's nice that it filters that out. So it looks like at this point, we can remove the dry run and continue forward. When I first did this, I was getting an error message saying that the command Immich-Go was not found, but it does exist in the current location. Actually, let me just show you that real quick. So the first time I ran it as a PowerShell command, this happened, and I get this error saying, the command Immich-Go was not found, but does exist in the current location. Windows PowerShell does not load commands from the current location by default. If you trust this command, instead type / and then the command. So I added that in right there. It works great. Once you get to this point and you see the dry run is doing what we want it to do, you can go ahead and get out of there. Press enter, it'll kick it out. Now we want to press the up arrow once, which will relist the command that we just had. We're going to delete out the dry run, -- dry run at the end of the command. We're going to end with .zip and then press enter. And now you see that it's actually going through, it's grabbing the files and it's uploading them to our image server. Currently 70, 80, 90, 100 uploaded. So depending on your image size, how many you have to import, this could take a while. So just sit back, relax, get a drink of tea or coffee or whatever beverage you enjoy, and we'll let it finish up and I'll be back in a moment. All right, I'm back. Well, it took a couple minutes for me. It says you can quit the program safely, so go ahead and hit enter. It gets rid of it. Now let's jump over to Immich and see the results, see if everything showed up. Click on the logo up here and it reloads everything and you'll see error loading image. This is to be expected. Don't freak out. It's just processing stuff in the background. It's got to do all the thumbnail generation and all that kind of stuff. So adding everything to the database. All right, give it a few minutes, refreshed, and everything appears to be here now. So there we go, everything imported fine. One of the nice things too, using that command, it actually will import the albums from your Google Photos. So if you have albums already created, you'll see they've been duplicated over here. I made a couple, one for celebrity faces. And then the other is, what was that one? Clouds. I just did one of the cloud groups. So that should save you some time. So what do you think? Make things easier on you? Did that save you some time? All right, that's the first part. Should get you importing all your files from your different cloud accounts, Google, iCloud, Picasa, whatever you're using. That's pretty much it. It just works. It's really simple to set up. Works great. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, consider becoming a Patreon. Patreon members get direct access to me on Discord, early access to my videos, and they are both ad and sponsor free. The link is down in the description. Until then, check out one of these next. And I'll see you in the next one.